It was not,
right.
but it was.
Yes.
What was the reason?
Now, Jada Pinkett Smith has been away from the limelight for so long that I'd actually forgotten what a manipulative snake she is. This woman single-handedly ended a Hollywood icon.
Yeah.
I say single-handedly, perhaps she had a few helping hands on her mammary glands. The point is, she was out of sight and out of my mind, at least, and frankly, she was all the better for it, because now she's back in my line of fire, and I'm watching all of her weepy interviews, listening to her very wordy book, Worthy, on Audible, and quite frankly, I have a sneaking suspicion, which is enough to confirm anything to me. I have a sneaking suspicion that everything she's saying is 100% horseshit!
Exclusive interview with Jada Pinkett Smith, and everyone's going to be talking about this.
Yeah, she is one half of Hollywood's most powerful couple. She's at the center of constant gossip and controversy, including that slap at the Oscars. She was sitting right next to Will Smith. And when we met up with Jada in her hometown of Baltimore to talk about her candid new memoir, Worthy, she opened up about an issue that has been kept secret until now.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was...
Yes. What is it about liars that they think if they just admit to what you're accusing them of, they're sort of absolved for some reason? For 7 years, you've been lying to the entire world. Now, I know that divorces, separations, and whatever can be humiliating, embarrassing. You don't necessarily want to air all of your dirty laundry. But this is Jada Pinkett Smith. It's the only thing she does. Talk about herself and her sex life and her problems and her kids and her difficult upbringing. And Tupac! She made Will Smith sit down at the red table and then proceeded to humiliate him in front of the entire world, showing what a cook he was, insinuating that it was his fault that she was banging their son's best friend, and then continued with this weird charade that they were together or something. Then, I've got to say, if they've been separated for 7 years, how come Will Smith went mental at the Oscars and battered Chris Rock? They didn't seem like the actions of a man who'd been amicably separated from his wife for 6 years.
Not a divorce on paper,
right,
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now.
Yes.
I guess it is kind of funny when you think about it. Her husband's mental breakdown, all the lying and scheming in order to keep her brand intact.
Y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
I believe is patois for fucking your son's best friend.
But in public, the couple, who married in 1997, denied the gossip about their marriage. This interview on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen was taped a year after Will and Jada separated.
So how long have you guys been together?
23 years.
Wow. That's amazing. How do you keep it hot?
How do I keep it hot? You know.
Mm-hmm. We know now.
You know. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I'm baffled, really.
Yeah, right.
Over the next several years, Jada and Will kept up the appearance of a committed married couple. They even faced a scandal when Jada had what she called an entanglement with a family friend.
Ah, yes, the entanglement with a family friend, a prior engagement, a solicitation. You fucked your son's best friend!
This is a hoe.
Neither let the public know they had already split.
So I guess my question is, I feel like you're a straight talker.
I am.
The searching I have to do through my archive of clips listening to these idiots!
Friendship with August. And we actually became really, really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help. You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state. And we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull him through. And from there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
that particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah, I really felt like we could be over.
Now that is truly fascinating, Jada, that you're such a straight talker that your husband didn't even realize you were separated.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
And I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
Entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
Such a straight talker, eh? So, she had an entanglement with their son's best friend, and Will was clearly fine about that because her being such a straight talker and all, he understood that they were on a break and she could shag all of the son's friends as far as he was concerned. It didn't damage him in any way. He was completely fine. Can't you see how confident and happy he looked in that Red Table Talk? And then, of course, at the Red Table Talk, that interview happened, 5 years ago? They were back together. They were working on the marriage. Everything was happy again, you know? Except now we're told they've been separated for 7 years. So it's almost as though you're about as straight as a fairground rifle, Jada.
We are so worried about other people accepting us. The first question one has to ask, how come I don't accept myself?
Ooh.
I feel like you're a straight talker,
I am.
except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like you're a straight talker. I am. Except you're not sometimes. Yep.
Except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
So why do that? Like, what was the reason?
Now, call me an armchair psychologist, but I'm guessing it's some sort of personality disorder.
I think just not being ready yet.
Ah, fuck it. Jada Pinkett Smith has got massive control issues. She's always finishing people's sentences, always nodding along and trying to dominate, sucking the air out of every room she's ever in. And the reason is she grew up with a load of very weird people in her life. That's it, right? Her grandmother was a controlling, narcissistic, social justice warrior bully, and her mother was a drug addict. I'm sorry, right? We've all got problems. But we can't go on pretending that these people are okay. They're not.
Still trying to figure out between the two of us
Yeah.
how to be in partnership, right?
Hey, you know what might have helped you figure it out, you know? If you hadn't advertised it to the entire fucking world. Oh, and also maybe not banging your son's best mate. That would have, you know, helped work things out, I guess.
And in regards to how do we present that to people, you know? And we hadn't figured that out.
Is anybody else feeling confused?
How many of us feel battered?
I'm not sure which bit of what Jada is saying is a lie. Is it a lie that they've been separated for 7 years? Was it a lie then when they were working on the marriage and they were together? Were they on a break when she banged their son's friend? Does Will know that they were separated? Did she think they were separated and they actually weren't? They hadn't actually properly had that conversation, because the only conversations they have is when there's a camera in front of them. I don't understand this straight talking lady.
During our walk in Baltimore, Jada reflected on their breakup.
Why did the relationship fracture?
Oh, why it fractured? That.
Oof, you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of that diminutive woman.
That's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying.
Exhausted from trying not to bang all my son's friends.
I think we were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be.
Quit your fantasizing about me not banging our son's friends, Will. Boy, you be living in a fantasy world.
Jada says she considered a legal divorce, but could never go through with it.
Oh, I see. She couldn't go through with it. More like she's been waiting 7 years for Will to slip up. I understand, though. If she wasn't going to get a good settlement, then, you know, the prospect of dining out on Red Table Talk and having met Tupac Shakur in the 90s, things could have got pretty bleak pretty fast.
I made a promise that there will never be a reason for us to get a divorce. We will work through whatever. And I just haven't been able to break that promise.
Ah, take everything, take the house, take the kids. Jada sure is a frightening lady. Anyway, I think that's enough for today's video, but I will be following the developments of this story like a sniffer hound, right? And anyway, 10,000 likes, please. It's a reasonable request. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. What you're doing with your life, you're not going to get this anywhere else, all right? Bye.